Rafi and Klee, live stream. Hopefully we don't say
Yeah, there we are. Welcome.
Greetings.
Let us know if you guys could hear us all right and if you could see us all right. Hopefully we're not frozen.
Hopefully we're not frozen.
So we're having issues with our streaming setup right now. So if we do freeze, just be patient with us.
We'll be animated once more.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Hi, Diane. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Anhan.
Hi, Linda. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Gwendolyn. Hi, Tomato. Hi, Jinja. Loud and clear, said Linda.
Awesome.
Famalam, audio and video are good. Gwendolyn, you did make it 2 days in a row. Glad to have you. Boo, said Ginny. Good Samhain and All Hallows Eve, y'all.
Good Samhain.
I missed you yesterday. It was a fun rewatch, though. Oh, glad you
Awesome.
could catch the replay, Jinja. Hi, Sky Blue.
Hey, Sky Blue.
Not
Hi,
froze.
Artist Hayden.
Sounds spooky.
Spooky. Here we are. Ready? And it's...
Nicely done.
That's what we're getting ready for.
Nicely done. Hi, Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer.
Thanks for joining us on our spooky Halloween stream for spooky stories.
That's right. We're going to regale you with some stories from when we were on the road and had some spooky paranormal experiences.
And some spooky experiences with people who weren't paranormal. Possibly.
Yeah. And if you can relate to any of these stories, please let us know in the comment section.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We froze for a second.
Oh, we froze.
Okay, y'all. I know that the veil between worlds is at its thinnest right now, so I think actually the other side might be soaking up some of our bandwidth. They're probably streaming too.
It's also very windy outside.
It's also very windy outside.
Which we're going to be sitting outside for trick-or-treaters, and we are dedicated. I'm going to be wearing a lot more thermals under my interdimensional millipede outfit.
So cute. Cutest millipede ever. And I'm going to be a skeleton in a coat. Skeleton in a big old coat.
Heidi said, yes, very windy here.
Also.
I don't like it. Yeah, it's been weird. Like, all of our Halloween decorations are, like, blowing all over the place. It's a little, it's windy. When it's windy, it's like, oh, it's nice and windy. And then it's windy, too windy.
It's too windy.
It's too windy.
Our wind chimes sound real great, but
I'm scared. I actually think I should go out there and take our wind chimes down. 'Cause
perhaps.
it might be a little too much.
Perhaps. Yeah. Time for Boop 'em Spook 'em story time. Diane said, I went for a walk this afternoon and the wind was glorious and the leaves were amazing. This is a perfect Halloween.
Yeah.
I am glad that you got out there to enjoy it. All the dead streams taking your bandwidth. Exactly. We are sharing bandwidth with the dead streams. Anyone else dressing up their cats and taking them trick-or-treating? No? Just me? Cool.
Ginny, that's great.
I love it.
I want to see pictures of your cat's costumes.
Yes, please.
All right, why don't we get started with the first story, the one that you were talking about of what happened to us while we were on the road.
Yes, I mentioned this during the book release party yesterday. But before I begin, let us get some mood lighting.
Oh, mood lighting. That's right.
Yes,
All right, so we're going to do creepy mood. Let us know if it looks good.
Yeah, hopefully we don't. Maybe the low light might make us freeze less, or it might make us freeze more.
Freeze more.
We don't know. Aha! Great. I can actually read the ticker tape better.
Can you?
In this lighting.
Yeah.
Artist Haven said, sunny and 73 here near Austin. Doesn't feel like Halloween to this Minnesotan. Indeed.
Look, my little legs are glowing.
They are. Are my skeleton hands glowing? A little bit.
A little bit.
Ooh,
oh,
uh-oh.
You froze.
Uh-oh. Hopefully you guys can still hear us.
I think everybody should get a screenshot of this. All right, let me get the mouse.
Diane said my cats would kill me and eat me if I tried to dress them up. Just kidding. They're too docile for that.
Here we
Ginger
go.
said-
We're back.
Oh, great.
Yeah, there's something wrong with this camera too. So
Froze, but you can hear us. Okay, as
Okay,
long
good.
as you can hear us, then we can get through this.
yep.
Ginger said, Ginny, I'm jealous. That's great. I always said if I dressed mine up, Dex would be a ladybug and Dee Dee would be a bumblebee. Not sure why. It just felt right. I love that. Hi, CL. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Connie. Okay, so we are back. It began on an innocent enough road trip. Of 4 youthful hippies trying to find the Rainbow Gathering in Arkansas, circa 2005.
Yeah, this is before my time. I was not one of the hippies trying to find Rainbow Gathering.
In general, when I travel, I believe in the goodness of people and I feel pretty safe. But on this particular occasion, I was traveling with my bandmates to the Rainbow Gathering in Arkansas, and we got pretty hopelessly lost. I don't think it was in Missouri. I think it was in Arkansas. And this was back when phone nav wasn't really like as good as it is. Even though still to this day, sometimes Google Maps and Siri Maps will take you out to the field in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because they think there's a road where there's no road. But on this particular occasion, we got pretty hopelessly lost in the Ozarks and turned around, and we were trying to head for what was supposed to be a gas station and convenience store. But when we got there, after several roads that became increasingly not road-like, we pulled up to what looked like a shed. Like a little shanty shed in the middle of nowhere. And there was one gentleman standing outside who looked incredibly displeased to see us. And it turned out to not really be much of a convenience store at all. And we kind of announced that we were lost and trying to find our way back to a main road. And he actually said to us, "You ain't from around here, are ya?" And we decided that it would be best to get back in our vehicle, hightail it out of there, and find our own way back to the main road, which we did. The rest of the trip was about as disastrous as that as well. It didn't really get much better from there.
When we actually had an experience that was similar to that when we left, when we went on the road. Actually, the first night we headed into southern Illinois, and it was dark, so we couldn't see anything, and there was some kind of like obscure campground, right? So we left Illinois the day before Thanksgiving 2009.
In the evening.
And it was raining. And so we hit the road and we decided that we were going to go south so that, we could hit warmer weather because it was in Illinois, so it was already getting cold. So as we were heading south, we started getting tired and we decided that we were going to pull over onto, maybe find some kind of like campground or something where we could get some sleep. And we pulled over and it was nighttime and we're going up hills and like there's 0 streetlights, like nothing. And all we keep seeing are these like little brown signs that look like you're getting close. I don't know about you, but if you guys have ever gone to a campground and you start arriving at night and you're now looking for the campground and you're just following these little signs in the midst of like what feels like wilderness for miles,
Yeah.
It is the creepiest thing in the world. So we're like looking around, and we find a place and park the truck and go to sleep. And the next morning we wake up and we're literally on the edge of a cliff. Like
feet away.
Like 4 feet away from us is a cliff where you could see like 4 different states. That's how high up we were. But we go back down and like we're starving at this point, like and we decide that we're gonna stop in their little town. There's this little like town that was like maybe a block long, and there was a convenience store, and we go into the convenience store, and the moment we walked in, it was like record scratch.
It was like everyone stopped what they were doing.
Everyone stopped what they were doing, turned and looked at us. And again, one of the guys was like, "You ain't from around here, are you?" So,
Which I was a little indignant about because I was like, we're in the state that we were born in. Yeah. Good times in the wilderness. All right, we're fixing our little freezy situation here.
there we go. We're back.
Okay.
You're back. Fucking townies, said Ginger. We're back, Heidi. Yeah, every time it freezes, I don't know what's going on with this particular camera, but if it freezes, I've got my mouse here so I could fix it.
Ginny said Southern Illinois is the place for strange happenings. No matter how you think you're immune, I feel like I know where you were. You probably do, Ginny.
Yeah, you probably do. Isn't it? It's so weird. Like you leave Chicago and you drive a little bit south, and then you're like in the South.
The accent changes.
Like everything changes when you get to Southern Illinois.
It's true. Yeah, we've actually had that happen on a couple of occasions where we walked into a place and everyone turned and looked at us. We had that happen in the Mississippi Delta as well.
Yeah.
Those people turned out to be really super nice, but they all did do the turnaround to look at us.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I like on hands like they're Chicagoland and Illinois.
Two different things, for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, at one point while we were on the road, I think you had expressed the fear of like ending up somewhere because we're on the road, we don't know where we're going, we're taking a lot of back roads to avoid highways and stuff, and we want to like experience the country, like the real country. And so instead of taking highways and just making it all about getting to places faster, we took back roads.
Yeah, we named the Explorer the Byway Hog.
The Byway Hog. But unfortunately, what was going on as well was that the fear of like running into a place accidentally where somebody would be like, "Can we eat them, Pa?" That was a legitimate fear.
I did have a fear of that. Yeah, there was that. I think that was like one of the first things to get over. People were like, "Were you worried about money?" And I was like, "No, I wasn't. Not at first. I was worried about axe murderers."
Ginny's like, "You realize you know nothing about the state you're from."
Jen just said, "We want to experience the country." Always bodes ominous.
That's true. That is true. I mean, we did run into the nice thing is that the majority of our trip was great. There was a stint, and again, this is why the mind is such a powerful thing. There was a stint where we were off the Tamiami Trail in Florida, and this is the Florida Everglades. And Klee and I were in primitive camping, right? So basically the Explorer was set up with a solar panel, and we were able to do well. Now, we didn't have running water and stuff like that, but we did have a jug of water, and we had plenty of food. So we actually camped there for about a month. And this is during the holiday season. It's November, December, that time. And there was no one else there because this is like off the beaten path, like just completely out there in the middle of nowhere. And so we're out there. We've been out by ourselves this entire time. And suddenly a white van pulls into an area across from us. It wasn't really spaces. It was just kind of like you could park here or you could park there.
And when we say white van, you guys, we're talking about like the kind you see in the movies, white van, cargo van with no markings on it with tinted windows.
Yeah.
Rolls up
and just parks, right? And we don't actually see the person in the van. We just see the van and proceeded the rest of the night. I was like one eye open, keeping an eye, because I didn't have any locks on the door, on the back door on the inside, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I spent all night, one eye open, turning on the floodlights, because we had floodlights all the way around the Explorer so that we could see everything. Turning on the floodlights randomly whenever I thought I heard a sound, which you're out in the wilderness, so you hear all the sounds. And the next morning, I get up, and the first thing I do is install a lock on the inside of the door so that we could lock the door, lock ourselves in the truck, and all that stuff. And a couple days later, and we kept kind of like seeing him, and we'd sit there and kind of side glance him like, who is this guy?
Before we saw him, though, I was freaked out because he had parked his van in such a way that like the side of the van was facing our campsite. So, like, we couldn't see him, but he could, like, watch us out the windows if he wanted to.
Right, which all of that makes sense if you're camping and you don't want to be disturbed.
Yeah.
But for us, we were like, who is this person? And so, like, a couple days go by, and, like, we are, like, it's getting worse. And instead of actually just going and, like, talking to the person, we were like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe we should move the car or whatever. And we go to move the car, and our battery is dead.
Mm-hmm. So we freak out.
Because now we're out in the middle of nowhere.
Stranded.
With a murder van across from us. And we are basically by ourselves, stranded. And so, like, at that point, he sees what's going on. He sees that our car won't start. And he walks over very politely, and he's like, hey, I've got jumper cables if you need me to start your car. So we're like, dun dun, it's like, and then, so he comes over, and then it turns out he's the nicest guy. We hear him on his phone talking to his family.
Yeah.
He had just decided that, like, he was going to take some time off because he was taking time off of work, and he wanted to be out somewhere.
He wanted to spend Christmas in the Everglades by himself, but that was another part of what spooked us. It was like Christmas, 2 days before Christmas that he rolled up, and then Christmas Eve and Christmas Day was the dead battery day when he came to help us.
Yep.
And then, he was on the phone like, yeah, I'm in the Everglades.
I'm in the Everglades. It's pretty great. Yeah. Yeah. What did Jen just say there?
So Diane said, maybe I'm naive, but are there really ominous country people like that? And Jen just said, Diane, sometimes, usually harmless.
Sometimes, but usually harmless. It's more of a stereotype.
Jen just said, ooh, look, free Wi-Fi van. Diane said, lol, the wilderness can play spooky tricks on the mind.
It really does. It's funny because, like, in the, in the middle of the night, like, if we needed to use the bathroom, it was like, open the back hatch of the Explorer. We had installed a handle on the inside. Open the back hatch of the Explorer, roll out of bed, turn on the floodlights that surrounded the Explorer, and then go find a spot to do your business.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, usually I would, like, clear the campground a little bit, but I was always, like, within distance, right? Klee would get up sometimes in the middle of the night and go use the bathroom, and, like, she would disappear off into, like, the darkness of the trees where I couldn't see her anymore.
I went a little further away from camp than Rafi because I didn't want to attract wild boar or other critters with our aromas. So I had a particular tree that in the daytime didn't seem that far from camp, that I would do my business, but at nighttime it was a bit far.
Sky blue with Daisy. Aw, sweet innocent murder van guy.
You can't be too careful. It's true. In hindsight, we should have been like, your van looks like a murder van. Like, you're super nice, but maybe like paint something on the side.
I mean, he was probably doing van life. Most of the van life vans look like murder vans. Let's be real.
They either look like murder vans or they belong in music videos.
No, they look like murder vans because they have to look discreet on the outside so they could park anywhere.
Oh, you're talking about the boondocking van lifers.
Yeah.
You right. Nanu said, I have a ship ghost story.
Really, Nanu?
Ooh. If it's possible for you to share it on the ticker tape,
I would love.
We'll totally read it.
Yeah, I would love to hear it.
That's fun. Stephanie said Florida is scary.
Yeah.
We had another encounter in Florida. This was
Oh,
a shorter
yeah.
encounter, but we were on our way out to a peninsula camping site about like midway down the inland coast, the Gulf Coast, like, about halfway down Florida. And we were on our way there, and we we got the sense that we were being followed just because like we were kind of out a ways, and like the car behind us we were going really slow because
Yeah.
the Explorer didn't go fast.
Yeah, yeah.
And most people like that were on that same road were just passing us. But this particular vehicle didn't pass us
It just kept following
and
us.
didn't pass us and didn't pass us. And then we slowed down some more and it didn't pass us.
It slowed down.
And we were like, either they're going, because there's only one destination at that point, and we're making all these turns, and they're turning behind us and not passing. So we started to get really paranoid because that went on for like a solid 20 minutes, I want to say.
No, it went on longer than that.
Was it?
Closer to an hour, yeah.
So, well, I guess I started getting freaked out at the 20-minute mark. So, like, eventually we didn't know what else to do. So, like, we literally just stopped the Explorer.
And when I say stop the Explorer, now mind you, the Explorer was like weighed down. We had the roof rack, we had other stuff hanging off of the back. There was an awning that would open up, and the back of the Explorer was full of our supplies and stuff. And I literally like stomped on the brake, pulled over to like the dirt road. There was like rocks and stuff. We skid on that and did this crazy thing. And the car just passed us.
You want to hear something funny? And I think this is maybe a false memory, but in my memory of it, the car pulled a U-turn and went back the other way.
No, it did not pull a U-turn and go back the other way.
I think I was just that freaked out that like that's how I remember it happening.
So if you were telling people this story, you'd be like, and then it pulled a U-turn.
And went back and we
went
never
back
saw
the
them
way-
again. Yeah, that is actually how I remember it. But
Ginger's like, this is a conversation that would be hilarious out of context. Yeah. Perhaps Florida man.
was a stern observer of the law in the no passing zone.
Quite possibly.
Perhaps.
Quite possibly. Have you guys, I would love to, so what is your favorite scary movie? You guys list your mostest favorite scary movie that you've ever watched.
Tremors.
Tremors? Tremors is Tremor a horror movie?
No. You guys, I saw Tremors when I was like 5. I want to say.
Fog.
The Fog.
Yeah, the fog is creepy.
I saw Tremors when I was 5 and I was utterly terrified by Tremors. And I was like an adult.
I loved Tremors. I thought it was hilarious.
Well, I was an adult when I realized that like it's a comedy.
Ah, got it.
But
got
like
it.
5-year-old me was like, that's horrifying. Oh, Ginger Snaps. It's the best one, said Ginger Snaps. Mike said, I was at a fair. I was sitting watching a show. I passed out because of the heat. I could see myself from above laying on the floor.
Mike, that is a weird experience.
That is a weird experience.
Yeah.
And of course, I've heard of other instances of like this happening with people.
I've actually had experiences like that in Puerto Rico as well.
That's right.
Heidi Cujo is creepy, man. I watched Cujo when that was the creepiest thing ever.
Jenny said, could you repeat that whole story? My Bluetooth shut off. Oh, sorry, Jenny. On Hand said, Night of the Living Dead scared 10-year-old me for years. My daughter at 10 thought it was boring and that the acting was horrible.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Night of the Living Dead scared me too when I was a kid. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
We're coming to get you, Barbara. My actual favorite Halloween movie, but it's not scary, is Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead is amazing.
There's really not a better
Killer
Halloween movie.
clowns from outer space. That is creepy. Anytime you involve clowns in anything, it is creepy.
Yeah. You know what else really scared me as a kid? And I don't know why I was even, like, how I was watching it or why I was allowed to, but Pet Sematary really messed me up.
Till this day, when I watch Pet Sematary, it leaves me with a yuck feeling.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Nanu's got this story. In one of the ship's storerooms, A supply officer unalived himself. New people, unalived himself in, okay, new people without ever seeing him would describe an officer telling them to clean the storeroom or get out. When showed his picture, let's see. When they showed his picture, they would say that was who they saw. Then we would show his obit in the back of the cruise book.
Oh, that is so creepy.
That is spooky.
Clean up or get
to
out.
have like a fully formed apparition that you think is like actually there.
Yeah.
Telling you to clean up or get out.
Diane said, burnt offerings scared the living crap out of me when I was a kid. These days, it's the original Halloween
or The Shining.
The Shining also is one. I still get goosebumps with the twin girls.
Yeah, I mean,
there's something about that, like just kids in general. Like whenever there's kids in like horror movies, like where they're like the creepy little things, like I don't know. I have a hard time with that.
CL said Freddy Krueger. I wasn't supposed to watch it. I was terrified of Freddy Krueger too.
I fell asleep during Freddy Krueger. Not the first time I watched it, but I fell asleep and then had a dream about Freddy Krueger and woke up freaked out to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. Yeah, that was not a fun time.
Stephanie said Rosemary's Baby.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Heidi said, for me too, since I had a Great Pyrenees dog, a lot like the St. Bernard.
It's so creepy. It's so creepy.
Mike said, I ordered a drawing to help the cause. It's great. It's a great idea to make inspirational drawings to see how deep the rabbit hole can go on that one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that so much.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Rafi had his Dear Artist book release party last night, and thank you to the folks who came out in support. And he's doing original illustrations from the book for sale on the event page to help raise funds for ISBNs.
Yes.
So that we can release the additional formats of the book, such as the audiobook and the ebook and all that good stuff.
Yeah, the audiobook and the ebook, and that way I could have ISBNs. I want to buy 100 ISBNs, which costs $4.75. So thank you so much for getting that. Yeah, I'm excited about releasing the drawings, and that's been something that I've always kept. I think I said it last night. Like I've kept them in a drawer and they get damaged and stuff. So being able to put them out there and share them with people who love them, I'm excited about that.
Heidi said kids are creepy on a good day.
Right?
True that. Diane said, oh, kids in horror movies remind me of the kids singing in the Amityville Horror. That spooks the hell out of me.
It
Creepy
does.
Kids singing. Jinja said Sunshine is also considered by some to be a horror movie. Another gem. Oh, that's one that I have not seen. Actually, there's a lot of scary movies that I haven't seen because I have a very low tolerance for scary.
Her mom didn't let her watch movies.
No, so how did I see Pet Sematary? I don't know. I was probably at a friend's house. I was definitely at a friend's house for Tremors and Spaceballs, but that's a different live stream.
Spaceballs.
Let's see. Artist Haven said, the bar I used to work at was haunted. Wine glasses would come off the rack with no cause. There were cold spots in the dead of summer, and people said they saw a figure at the top of the stairs.
Oh,
Spooky.
that's so amazing. That's so amazing.
Sarah Neville coming in with a classic, The Exorcist. It is a very scary movie.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
The Others
is a great, Diane. That's a great scary movie.
The Others is incredible.
Yeah, one of the buildings that my family owned, it was the same thing. Like you would be sitting out, like a lot of times I would leave the apartment and sit in the stairwells and you would hear walking as if somebody was walking, like the wood creaking as they were walking down the stairs.
Yeah.
And very distinctive footsteps. And so like I would scoot over to like make room for whoever was coming down, and then after a while, like there was no one. Like the sound would get closer. The sound would always get close enough where like they were going to pass me, but then it would just stop.
It would stop.
Yeah.
In my dad's house in Illinois, I would hear footsteps daily. And it would be the middle of the day. It didn't really matter what time it was. It could be the middle of the day. It could be in the evening. But actually, I heard them more in the daytime. surprisingly. But I would be on the first floor and I would hear walking around on the wood floors of the second floor.
Ooh.
And never was there any explanation for it because I was the only one there.
You probably heard them more in the daytime because you sleep pretty hard.
I do.
So you probably didn't hear the ghosts were like, "Ah!" and then
And
you
I
were
was
like
like,
just sleeping.
You guys, I told this story last year, but for those of you who didn't hear it, when I lived in that house, my dad also had like a roommate, like a lady that he was renting a room to because it was a 4-bedroom house. So he was renting out a room to a lady that needed to get back on her feet. And I was sleeping in the master bedroom at the end of the hallway. And yes, I slept really hard. I do sleep really hard.
Yes, you do.
Anyway, Peggy was her name, and Peggy was woken up in the middle of the night because she heard sobbing coming from my room. And I didn't know this until the next day, but when I went downstairs into the kitchen the next day, Peggy was like, "Are you okay? Do you want to talk about it?" And I was like, "I'm good." Like, I was just going to get a bowl of cereal. And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine." And she was like, "You were crying." And I was like, "Nope, not me." Might have been my dad's TV or something. And she was like, "No, you were sobbing." And she said, "You were crying so loud that it woke me up. And I came and I stood next to your door and I heard you crying and talking to someone." And she said, "I assumed you were talking to your father because she could hear a man's voice too." And I said, "No, like that never went down. None of that happened." And she said, "Well, is it possible that you were crying in your sleep?" And I was like, "No, I don't think so." Because back then I was a total degenerate who like fell asleep with full makeup on after I went out or like went to shows. And my mascara was fully intact. So
you weren't crying.
there was mystery sobbing and talking coming from the room that I was sleeping in, enough to wake up the lady sleeping in the room next to me.
That's amazing.
Sky Blue said, "I was at a sleepover in the 80s. We watched Freddy Krueger. Then I heard scraping on the window and I just knew it was Fred. My friends were not happy when I woke them all up. It was just sleeting." Stuff like that can be trickery.
It is trickery, man. When the hairs on the back of your neck get up, like it's easy for anything to sound. I remember I was cleaning my mom's room and like there was always like creepy stuff going on with my mom, with ghosts and things like that. But I was cleaning my mom's room and I was like kind of upset and like, whatever. And I'm bending down near the closet. The closet door is closed, but it's one of those doors where like they have the little slots, like the vent slots.
Oh, yeah.
And so like I'm in there and I'm down on the floor picking up some clothes and I hear what sounds like breathing coming from the other side.
Oh, that's not cool.
Of the slot.
Not cool.
And so I'm like, oh, it must be my own breathing. So then I hold my breath and I could still hear, and it was like,
no.
And like, look, I still get.
I know,
get
that's so
goosebumps.
creepy.
And like at that point, I'm like, well, it's not the dog. It's not. There's nothing in this closet that should be breathing as hard as it is, especially down here.
Nope.
Like by the bottom of the closet.
Nope.
So instead of investigating, I ran out of the room, closed the door, turned off the light, and basically put a chair in front of the door.
Good call.
Just in case.
I think you made the smart move there. Ginger said, "Klee, you might like Sunshine. Some consider it an adventure movie with a twist. It's not one that torments you. I'll have to look into that." Heidi said, "Signs. That movie scared the hell out of adult me."
Oh, Signs.
Yeah, man. Signs is really an excellent movie.
Alien stuff could get creep. Signs is great. Like I love that movie.
Yeah.
But it does leave you with an ominous feeling. It does leave you with an ominous feeling.
Definitely. Hi, Joey.
It also made me jump like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching Signs and it made me jump.
Diane said, "I had a door open in my house. I locked it and watched it open on its own. I ran out of the house after that." Mike said, "Oh, Spaceballs, you brought that up. What were your thoughts on that one?" So I was also very little when I saw Spaceballs.
Your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Very little, and over at a friend's house.
Had you already watched Robin Hood Men in Tights?
No.
Oh, okay. Because
This is pre-Robin Hood
just
Men in Tights.
FYI, Robin Hood Men in Tights is Klee's ultimate favorite movie.
I have seen Robin Hood Men in Tights more times than I have seen any other movie.
She can recite every song in that movie to you.
I could probably recite the whole movie. Now, it's been decades since I've seen it, but when I was a kid, I watched it daily. I loved it. But Spaceballs, I was actually younger than that, and little me thought Spaceballs was incredible. I thought it was an incredible space adventure movie. I didn't know it was a spoof movie.
With Pizza the Hut!
I didn't know that it was like tongue-in-cheek, and I just thought it was really great. And it was probably several years later that I realized Spaceballs was...
Well, it's hilarious because you didn't watch Star Wars until you were with me.
Yeah, I was an adult.
Yeah. You're like, Spaceballs is a great movie.
I had...
So original.
Yep. So, yeah, little me gave it the stamp of approval, for sure. Linda said, we did a walking ghost tour in Savannah, Georgia. We didn't see anything bizarre, but you definitely got a creepy vibe touring the haunted houses.
Oh.
Ooh, what a great place to do it.
I believe it. I had that same creepy vibe walking through New Orleans. Like,
Yeah.
just being in New Orleans, there was something that just felt like
Like,
thick.
it's just closer to the other side of the veil.
Yeah.
Anhan said, my brother worked at a haunted bar. He wasn't afraid until he saw a woman go into the bathroom after hours. He went to kick her out, but there was no one there. He left without closing up. Ooh. That is spooky.
Yeah.
I've scarcely, okay, I should say, I've never seen like a full body apparition.
I have.
I have caught glimpses in my periph of apparitions, and I definitely could have swore I saw someone walk through my friend's kitchen who wasn't there, but all that I saw was like a green plaid flannel looking coat. And it was dark.
So back when I was very, very dumb, a very, very dumb teenager, and I did this thing where I was walking, a friend of mine and I were walking past an old cemetery. And my friend was scared of cemeteries. Mm-hmm. So me and my infinite wisdom decided that I was going to taunt stuff. I was like, well, you know that the ghosts really come out when you taunt them.
Oh,
you
boy.
know, it's like they're going to come out after you and all this stuff. And like, so I kept on like looking, it's like, come on, why don't you come get my friend? Why don't you come get my friend? Like a complete idiot. And then at one point we're walking and there is a man walking behind us, right? And when I turn and look at him, he's just a really tall looking man. And I get goosebumps because I remember his eyes being very, very white, you know, like being able to see the white around his pupils. Mm-hmm. And there's something about him, just this ominous feeling. And he was just walking and we were walking. And so my friend is freaking out at this point. So we're walking faster, but the faster that we're walking, he's not like walking fast, but he's gaining on us. Spooky. And so, you know, we're trying to pretend like we don't see him. So we're looking forward and there's zero sound coming from his footsteps. Mm. So now I'm freaked out.
Right.
Like, and I'm freaked out and I grab my friend and I'm like, let's cross the street right now. And we cross the street and turn around and we get across the street and we look and he starts crossing the street without looking at traffic.
That is spooky.
Right? And a truck passes by and then he's like gone.
Oh, so you never know.
So I was like, that is one of those experiences that I, you know, like I am not going to taunt anything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a little jerkwad and be like, whatever. But yeah, it scared. That was one of those things that I was like, yeah, that's not something that I want to mess with.
Indeed. Heidi said, I saw 2 different ghosts at the Foxburg Winery. The woman, I saw her entire body. The man was there from the top of his head to around his knees, no bottom of his legs or feet.
Oh,
Ooh.
Heidi, that's so cool.
That is cool. We'll have to go there and see if we spot anything.
I know. We're going to go into the Foxbird Winery and be like, where your ghost at? I want to see your ghost.
Jen just said, someone get that Spookum and inhaler from your closet story.
I know, right?
Linda E. said, I went to the bathroom at the Moon River Brewery in Savannah and got totally creeped out when I washed my hands. I could have sworn when I looked in the mirror that there was someone behind me.
Oh, that is so creepy,
that's
Linda.
like the worst. I feel like that's the worst thing is like if you catch a glimpse of something like in a mirror and it's behind you.
Oh, Connie's like, I came home for lunch. Now I'm scared to death. Thanks, guys.
Sorry, Connie.
Sorry, Connie.
May the Schwartz be with you, said Artist Haven. Diane said, just curious, Rafi and Klee, are there any freeloaders hanging out in your home? If there are, then they're nice ones.
Yeah, like we haven't really experienced anything like anything. And I'm pretty perceptive when it every once in a while there'll be like the smell of cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know,
so and the
like,
lady that lived here was a smoker. If she's hanging out, I'm cool with that because I'm pretty sure she was a rad lady.
Yeah.
I do sometimes think that I hear walking around up here on the second floor.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think I hear walking around. It's not as obvious, like, to me, if it really is, like, as it was in my dad's house because there's mostly carpet up here. But I do think sometimes that I hear walking around up here. Jenny said, late at night, my dad was watching The Exorcist during a thunderstorm. I was sound asleep, and he told me to come at him. Wait, he told me to come sit with him right as the lightning struck. I believe I died.
Jenny's like, we're men.
Manly men. We're men in tights. Tights.
Oh, now I'm getting truly spooked.
Anhan said, I don't believe in ghosts, but no joke, now I'm afraid to go into the basement to check on my paintings.
I mean, you know, in my experience, for the most part, as long as you are not afraid, you are fine. I think a lot of the experience that I had in one of the house that I grew up in, was beyond like spooky.
Yeah.
Something is going on here. Hold on.
Rafi's
we are frozen.
doing
I am fixing.
There we go.
We're back.
Yeah, your house that you grew up in was spooky. Diane said, I had a jump scare in a house that we lived in years back. I turned around to do something and jumped out of my skin at nothing there, but I felt like I was looking in someone's eyes.
Oh, Diane, that's creepy.
That's
creepy.
In the same house, my dad's house, that I would hear the footsteps upstairs, you couldn't ascend or descend the main staircase without the overwhelming feeling that there was someone behind you.
Oh, yeah.
So I would launch myself down the stairs sometimes at a full run, like holding onto the handle still, but like get down the stairs as quickly as possible. Or I would walk sideways with my back against the wall, trying to look both ways, because it was just this crazy, powerful feeling like you were being chased.
Yeah.
No matter which direction.
I think that's the biggest thing. It's like that feeling, like you'll get a feeling. I'm sure, you know, it's kind of like when you walk into a room and two people are arguing and like you walk in and it just feels like it's thick, like the air is thick in there. And that's what it is. Like there were some houses that we saw here when we were looking for a house that we walked in and like immediately it was like, nope, not going to happen. And it had nothing to do with how the house looked. Just the moment we walked in, I was like, nope.
Yeah, sometimes when a house is like, has really weird vibes, do you guys ever get like dizzy? When a house has like really funky, weird vibes, I get dizzy. Like I get disoriented where I can't get my bearings sometimes. My parents, Heidi said, my parents are still in my house, but I have more experiences with my dad.
Ooh.
I love that you guys are sharing your stories with us.
I love that.
Mike said, Rafi, you are the luckiest man on the planet to wake up every day. So Klee, the most amazing personality in the world. Aw, thanks, Mike. You two should create a country so she could be queen.
Queen Klee.
Aw, thanks. That's
All
so
hail.
nice. That's a tough job from what I hear, actually,
Yeah.
queen. But if I could be like honorary queen, I'm pretty sure I can get a duchess title of Sealand, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we are looking into getting
So we could
or
be
lord and ladyship
Lord and ladyship
at
of
Sealand.
Sealand. Yeah. So
An
I could be
independent nation.
Lord Rafi
And Lady
and
Klee.
Lady Klee.
That would be nice. Sky Blue said, I grew up in a house like the movie Psycho.
Oh,
They called
no.
me Norman Bates. Spookiest part, bats in the widow's walk.
Oh.
Bats
oh,
can be spooky.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
We've been largely bat free for quite some time now, but we did have, what was it, like 3-4 months ago?
Yep.
We had a bat.
Get in.
And our guard was down, y'all. Our guard is, it seems like it's like we're getting ready to chill for the evening. We're either getting ready to eat dinner or we just ate dinner. We're like, after a long day. And then Bat's like, Bat, doing bat things in your house.
And we're like,
No.
fudge.
Yeah. So, and we thought also that we had sort of like barricaded all of their entry points. So we were.
So I missed a few.
Yeah. But yeah, they can definitely be spooky when they're in places that they shouldn't be. Anhan said, that's my parents' house, but it's new construction. The acoustics are so horrible there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's funny when it is new construction. That doesn't mean that it can't have like spooky things going on.
Uh-huh. No, they're new construction also. There's been some newer houses that I was in that were like, that you could
Like,
tell.
nope.
Nope.
I'm like, I don't know if you like built your house on some land that you shouldn't
I
have,
don't
or
know.
like what's going on. Artist Haven said the man that used to own our house never left. Once I watched my son fall off the top bunk only to stop halfway down. What? And float to the bottom bunk. He was giggling. I thanked our ghost that day.
Oh, that's an awesome experience. That is still creepy though, because if I saw that with one of my kids, I'd be like, well, what the,
Yeah.
At that
Much
point, I was like,
appreciation, but
okay,
also
thank you, Ghost, or my kid has some kind of X-Men powers
True that.
I'm unaware of.
True that. Ginny said, like I always say, I have so many stories that employ way too many words. Some of them are wicked scary. Oh man, Ginny,
Yeah.
campfire stories with you would be epic.
It would
Campfire
be.
stories with all of you guys would be epic.
Yeah, there are some stories like, and every year I try to share some of the stories, but there are some stories from like my childhood that
They're too much, yeah.
These are like too much. Like the experience was like way beyond,
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's not light conversation on a spooky stream material.
Yeah, exactly.
Sky Blue said, I'm not a fan of the nope feeling. I start crying immediately.
Oh, do you really? Yeah. Well, that's at least you could feel the nope feeling, because then it's like time to go. Time to go.
Right now. Ginger said, bad juju, firm nope. Diane said, some houses have that heavy vibe. You can feel the heaviness. The house feels dark and you feel like you're not alone. It's real.
Yeah, the house that I lived in North Lake, till this day, if you look at pictures on Google Maps of the house, like every other house in the neighborhood is like there's sunshine, it's green, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
That house is like all the trees are dead.
There's always like a cloud over it.
There's always a cloud over there. I'm like, wow, that's exactly how I remember it.
I had a friend whose house was like that. Like, she was a little spooky, but her family was a lot spooky. And their house was like so dark. Like, it was almost like it was pushed back. Like, it wasn't any further back from the street than the other houses.
But it just looked.
But it looked like it was. It like just looked like spooky, and it always felt colder in front of her house.
Yeah, I don't think that I'd be going to your friend's house.
No, I went there one time, and then otherwise we hung out in other places. Sky Blue said bats are amazing. Though.
Oh yeah,
Agreed. Bats
absolutely.
are amazing.
See, I was like, I need the bats to eat the Florida mosquitoes.
Indeed. Bats could really earn a good living down in Florida. Rachel said, driving down a highway south of Boston, I passed a guy walking down the middle by the Jersey barriers. I passed him too quick to stop, but when I looked in my rearview mirror, no one was there.
Oh, Rachel, that is creepy. I had an experience similar to that. I was driving home. It was an old country road. This is when I was like DJing at like till about 2 a.m, and then I had to drive all the way to Joliet from Chicago.
Joliet.
So like, and once I got off the highway, I was just taking these like dirt country roads, these rock filled country roads.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'm on this road and there's no streetlights, like no streetlights. Like you might see a light off in the distance because there's a farmhouse over there or something. And so like you're just going and I'm going and I see the back of someone just standing in the ditch.
Ooh, creepy right
on the
away.
side of the road. And I was like, well, what the,
Yeah.
It's like 2 a.m. Why is there someone just randomly in the dark? No light, no flashlight, no nothing, just standing.
See, that's where the
Yeah.
spookiness comes in.
So I keep driving, and at this point, like I kept feeling like they were behind me,
Ugh.
And so like I remember like just going as fast as I could to get home, park the car.
Did you
Parked
run?
the car, held my breath, ran inside,
Yeah.
locked the door. It was like, now I'm safe. For some reason, being in my house, I was safe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is spooky stuff. Artist Haven said my other 2 kids were on the top bunk with him. They saw it too. He liked to pull pranks, like move my keys and stuff, but that time I was grateful.
Nice.
That is a wild, wild story. Diane said when I was 3, I heard something moving toward me in my dark bedroom. I was terrified. It eventually touched me, but all I felt was love. Can't explain that one. Never forgot the feeling.
Diane, that's
Oh,
interesting.
that's cool. We're frozen again. That's a cool story.
That is an interesting one. I experienced something similar to that when I was little. I remember my mom yelled at me about something, like I forget what. Like I went to the kitchen and I went to tell my mom something excitedly, and she was just one of those days where she was at her wit's end about something, and she yelled at me, and so I got really sad, and she was like, go to bed. And I went to bed and I laid down and I was just crying. I was laying there crying, and then suddenly I felt a hand on my back, like a loving hand, but there was no one in the room.
Interesting.
And it was cold. There was cold to the touch. But it was, I had the blankets on me, and the hand it felt like the hand was on my skin.
Yeah.
That just reminded me of that.
It was comforting to you?
And it was extremely comforting. It was like, like love. Now, it felt comforting, but I was freaked out.
Sure, because it's a weird thing to have happen.
And then at that point, I held my breath and then turned around real quick and was like, nobody was there. Yeah.
If I was doing the ghosty thing, I think I would be a comforting people ghost.
A comforting ghost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Me too.
I don't think I would be like a spooky, or I'd be like, hi, and they'd be like, ah! I don't know. It's possible that my future, not my future self, it would be my past self at this point, but it's possible that my future self reached out to me to comfort myself in a really dark time of need.
Oh,
at one point.
That is a possibility if
And
you look at quantum physics.
Yeah, it's possible. I say it's possible, but here's what went down. I think I was probably about 20, 21.
Buy on hand.
And I was having a really, really hard time. Like, it was one of those, like, you're sitting in the bathroom alone and you're devastated and you're just ugly crying. And I don't remember the specifics, but I remember that I was feeling really alone and really just kind of hopeless and sort of directionless. And all of a sudden, I felt like just a presence of someone who cared about me. And I just I didn't audibly hear it, but I heard the thinking of like, you are going to be okay. Like, trust me. I know, like, it's going to work out for you. And it was enough that I actually like stopped crying, because like, it wasn't like they're there, but it was a powerful knowing.
So it was like your ghost of your future.
Now, the reason
like the Scrooge, like the Christmas Carol story.
Kind of.
Yeah.
The reason that I think it was me is because not that long ago, I found myself really, really, really deep into a meditation. And kind of out of nowhere, I was snapped back to that version of myself that was devastated and crying. And I had a full-on conversation with her. And so then I was like, that then me that was in the meditation might have been the me that was comforting the me that was then.
That is not confusing at all.
Right. If you followed that. Awesome.
All right. Well, we're at the end of our spooky stories stream. I am sorry to anybody out there that we gave the heebie-jeebies to.
Indeed, but thank you for joining us for this Halloween.
Especially, who was it? Was it
Connie?
Connie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if we scared you.
I hope things get brighter post-lunch spookiness.
Fun stories, hopefully good juju tonight. Yes, that is
Agreed.
what we are going to count on, is good juju. My rule of thumb is don't be an idiot like Rafi when he was a teenager poking at ghosts. Like, just don't do that and you'll be fine.
Diane said, "Oh, I love the heebie-jeebies. Thank you." I like them too. I like sharing these stories. Heidi said, "It's been fun and spooky. Have a great evening, everyone. Good night."
Yes, happy Halloween, everyone. This was very fun. Thank you.
Yeah, I love this. This is one of my favorite things
Oh,
to do.
hail Queen. Oh, hail Queen Klee.
Thank you. I think we froze again.
Your awesomeness made you freeze. See?
It does that sometimes.
It does.
Yeah. Oh, good. We're back.
All right. Well, have an awesome, happy Halloween, you guys. And yeah, we're going to be going outside and I'm going to put on more thermals because it's.
The wind is a howling.
I think
y'all.
the wind calmed down a little bit, but I'm going to have more thermals on so that I could, go the full 2 hours of trick-or-treating
Yeah.
with the kiddos. So
Sky Blue said, "Have a fun Halloween, everyone. Thanks, Rafi and Queen Klee."
love you guys. You
have a
guys are
happy-
awesome. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Love and jazz hands, Rogue fam.
All right. I think I have my button here.
Ooh, I'm going to do this way, jazz hands, because that way you can see my squelette
Ooh, the
fingers.
squelette fingers.
My squelette fingers.
Wait, don't you have squelette fingers on the other side too?
Nay.
Oh.
I
okay.
can flip them around.
Got it.
But
All
we
right.
don't have time for that.
All right. Bye, you guys. Happy Halloween.